All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. Oh, boy, here we go. Here we go. Welcome in, friends. Hello. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I report on news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the week for the 1,348th time, I think. What the fuck is that all about? So glad you are here. I had a friend of mine reach out and said, hey, you talked about us on the podcast way back. We wanted to listen to that again. What episode was that? And I'm like, I'm not sure. I looked it up, and it was like episode 180. It was the story about when I went I was doing limo work, and I had these, like the mom squad in the limousine going to the Allegan County Fair. And they were all like, woo, let's party. Woo, yeah, oh, my God. And it was a riot. And they got together. The thing that stands out most from that story was when I was in the limousine and we're driving back from the Allegan County Fair, and they're having a ball. They're liquored up, and I'm driving and I hear the conversation, and I'm like, please don't come to me with this conversation. Please don't come to me with this conversation. And they're discussing on a woman's private parts. You know how like sometimes the labia is like large? You know, I mean, everybody's different. Some women have those flappies. And they were discussing that. And I think one of them, I mean, it was based on what I heard, it sounded to me like one of them had that. And the conversation is, yeah, so what do you think about that? Yeah, some people call them meat tarps and meat flaps. And, oh, yeah, well, mine's big. Well, and they're just having this discussion, and like I'm one of the girls. And I am being very, very quiet. And I'm just hoping that I don't hear what I ended up hearing. They wanted my input. Eric Zane. And I'm like, God damn it. Yeah. So what do you think about, don't act like you're not listening. What do you think about large vagina lips? Now, I know that one of them has large vagina lips. So I'm like, what the fuck? This is horrible. And I really don't remember what I said. But I think what I said was I was able to navigate that rocky river with my response, and they were like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, thank Christ. Holy shit. Well, anyway, one of the ladies that was in that group, she reached out to me and said, hey, can you, we don't have access to that. Can you send us the audio? Yeah, sure. 180. I was like, what? That doesn't seem possible. There's been more than 1,000 Daily Show podcasts since then. Anyway, today's show isn't about numbers at all. I told you I was going over to Jackie's to help paint the interior. Now, first house, Jackie and Justin. Justin is there working his ass off, and I got the impression that he wants every imperfection in this 20, 30-year-old house repaired and painted by the time they move in. And I was there with Justin's mother, And we said, hey, so just so you know, to do what you think you want to do is like a long project. Why don't you go ahead and Justin's mom says, why don't you just make sure your bedroom is the way you want it, and maybe your office and, I don't know, bathroom. The rest will come over time. You gotta give it. You can't put yourself under that type of pressure. And then, and we want to move in by the end of August and have the entire interior, every wall, every nook, cranny repaired, every crack in the wall, every ceiling painted, we can only do so much. You gotta pace yourself. Do not put yourself to that standard. So there I am. I'm helping him out. Doing what I can with my meager abilities. And I helped out on Saturday, and then Sunday I have to return. So I head over there after, I don't know, about sometime before noon, probably about 11 o'clock. And I'm doing my thing. And then the phone rings. And this is where the drama starts. This is the drama from Sunday. It's Madison. Now, right away, I'm suspicious because I just saw Madison back at my house. She had spent the night here. And she reaches out to me, and so it can be only one of a few things. Either mom is dead, mom is injured, the dog is lost. It's not just, hey, I want to call and say hi, or there's car trouble. Dad. Yes, honey. We're in the Bigby drive-thru. The car died. I go, okay. And then I can hear in the background the Bigby employee saying, you need to move this. You got it. And she's like, I can't. It won't run. Oh, my God. You know how Madison is. I'm like, okay. I'm on the clock. I'm on my way. And now I'm far away. I make my way over. Madison says, she calls me back. I didn't realize you were so far away. I called Jackie. She's at your house. She's coming over with jumper cables. I go, okay, great. I'm coming over anyway. Kyle says, no, we don't know how she is. Does she get this upset when she can't find something? Hello? Daddy! I can't even find it.
Hello? Yeah, hi, Maddie. What's up? You sound like you're upset.
This is a recording of yesterday's phone call. Uh-huh. Yep. 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 Uh-huh.
Okay, I was able to gather out of that something about your mother is upset because your DS case is missing.
Because your car is broken down. All right. Yep. Yep.
Uh-huh. Huh. So I'm guessing that it'll probably turn up, over time. It probably just can't find it right now because you're rushing.
I'll head over to Big B and help you out. Okay.
Do you think it's gone forever?
Oh, boy. Okay, I'm on my way.
No, I don't think so, baby. We'll find it. I promise you.
Chris writes, you want to talk to Mama?
I want to find it now.
Me too. I want to find it too, but it might take a little looking. Okay, well, it sounds like you're having a rough start to your day. I'm sorry.
Sorry that your car's in the Big B-drive-thru.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too.
All right. Sure, it'll be okay.
Hold on. Stepped on it. Chris writes, I heard her say my half-calf mocha latte is getting cold and the car is broken.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right.
Wanna talk to mommy?
Sure, it'll be okay.
Wanna talk to mommy?
Yeah. Hey, can you put mommy on?
Hello?
I like how you hear her screaming as she's walking away.
Oh, wow. We recorded that. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yay.
Now, Madison is there with Ash. Had this been just chicks involved, I would have been concerned. So if Maddie's freaking out, I go, put Ash on. Yeah, hey. Hey, Ash. Yeah, I got it. What's the problem? Oh, yeah, we can't get any power to the car. Okay, Jackie's coming over with jumper cables. Yeah, I'll give it a jump. Okay, thanks. Thanks, man. Yeah, no problem. But I'm concerned because the car lost power. So right away I'm thinking, because I just put a new battery in that thing, and I'm guessing that the alternator's bad. That was just based on how the car just died. And believe me, I'm not a mechanic, but it you start the car, you don't even need the battery anymore. The alternator is keeping the car running, producing the electricity to do all the car things. I get over there. It's actually at the window. The Big B employees are walking the shit out to people and handing it to them. And there's a good Samaritan trying to jump it. The car won't even jump. Okay, that's how dead the battery is. And then Maddie says, the battery light was on yesterday. I go, yeah, okay, it's probably the alternator. And Ash goes, yeah, well, hey, when I opened up the hood, the alternator was smoking. I go, okay, that's, I bet you we've diagnosed that problem. So when I was driving over, I said, I wonder if because they couldn't get it out of park. But there's a way you can get it out of park. You just take the key, set it in the thing in the gear console, and it'll in case this happens, you can get the car into neutral. That's what Rebecca asked. Why couldn't they put it in neutral and push it out of the drive-thru? So Ash said, I said, yeah, you can do this here. And I showed him. He goes, oh, hey, I tried that. It didn't work. I go, well, okay, you may be a dude, but you still got to do more duding because you got to hold the key with one hand and grab the gear shifter with the other. Oh, all right, shit, fucking A. Okay, no problem. Put the thing in neutral. Push it out of the drive-thru. Good Samaritan. I'm driving it. I'm at the wheel. And then Ash, Good Samaritan, and Maddie help me push it out. All right. Get that thing out of there. Say goodbye. Hey, thanks for your help, sir. We appreciate you helping. Okay. All right. That's it. Is there anything... I mean, that is... whenever you have car trouble, it's one of the more frustrating things because it's just like all of a sudden your world stops. Chris says, I like how Ash's voice always sounds like he gargles motor oil for mouthwash. Yeah, well, I like to do that because, as you know, Ash was born a girl and is now a dude. And the medicine that Ash takes has made his voice like, hey, beef, it's what's for dinner. My God. So I like to focus on that. Side note on this story, speaking of Ash. I was hanging out with Kuipers over at the racetrack Saturday at Berlin. And Kuiper says, and by the way, Chris writes, we should do a segment of guy stuff with Ash. Guy stuff with Ash. We're walking around the pits, talking to drivers, just kicking it around, having a good time. And Carver goes, "Hey, I was always wondering this. I want to ask you something." "What is it, buddy?" "When Ash has to take a leak, does he go in the men's or the women's?" And I go, "Kevin Kybers, that's a good question. I don't know. I've never been with Ash out in a place where he's like, I gotta go take a leak." I said, "You know what? I'm gonna find out for you." So I'm with Madison the other day, and I go, "Hey, I got a question for you." And I asked her that. And she told me, she said that Ash, as he, started to look more dudeish, like it was weird. Before he started to look dudeish and he went into the men's room, other dudes would look at Ash funny. But as Ash based it on appearances and looks, and then he started to feel more comfortable when he'd go in there to take a leak, and nobody would bat an eye. But in the event that while that was happening, if he ever ventured into a female bathroom, the chicks in there would be like, "Oh, what the fuck? What are you doing in here, you fucking asshole? Get your cock out of here." All right, I guess it's working. I guess the medicine's working. Because these bitches are telling me that I got to get the fuck out of here. It's fucking fantastic. What a goddamn adventure. And so Maddie says to me, "Daddy!" I know, she wasn't crying. She says that she likes it that people ask questions. So if anybody has a question about changing one's gender, you can ask me and I'll ask, because this is all like a work in progress. There is not really like an owner's manual to this. The only thing I think is important that you just kind of go, take it as it comes, go with the flow. Relax. It's no big deal. The only time I've ever had anything weird happen, I talked to you about this, is when I didn't realize how important it is to never reference anything from when Ash was a chick. So just conversation style, "Hey, so what was your birth name?" Looks at me like this. And I'm like, "Oh, I just stepped in it, didn't I? Oh, fuck. Here it comes." And he goes, "No." I go, "Hey, message received. My bad. Now I know." I was going to kick my ass. Amy's question: does Ash look androgynous, or does he pass as a male most of the time? I would say that he passes as a male most of the time, but I could see at this stage of the game someone seeing Ash and going, "I'm not sure." It does happen. It does happen. But boy haircut, similar actual facial structure changing because of the medicine. Typical line creases in manly faces, in a man's face, like here and maybe up here. The wrinkles up top. That's what it's doing. It's very interesting. That's actually an excellent question. Keep them coming. So then Chris asks this question: what is the biggest thing you've learned, EZ, as an ally to our gay brothers and sisters, transgender folk, whatever else I'm missing there? I think the biggest thing is how favorably it is looked upon by the loved ones when you behave in an accepting fashion. So I was lucky that when Madison told me that she was a shrub scout, that I didn't like scoff. I didn't pause. I didn't look at her like, oh no. I actually said, well, so what? What are you crying for? Come on. Now, I'm not going to lie. Deep down, I was kind of like, it was a lot to process, but I didn't show my poker hand. I just went, oh, okay, well, whatever. And just carried on about my day. So, and then did the old just fake it till you make it. And yeah, I made it. It's fucking great. So I think the positive, how favorably that's looked upon by Madison, my daughter, of course, and Ash and Ash's family and my family, because with an unfortunate high degree of regularity, when a person says they're either changing their gender or they're gay, it's received poorly. And then that person, they're at a crossroads. Sometimes it ends horribly where they kill themselves and shit like that. So to avoid that, I suggest you just let it go and put it in the hands of God, and there ain't a goddamn thing you can do to change it, so don't be an asshole and shut your fucking mouth. Tyler says, this is interesting stuff for us who've never been around transitioning people. Yeah, exactly. What I didn't even know what it meant to change your gender as recently as like 10 years ago, because there's a pal of mine in Nashville who was a fan of the radio show. I've told this story before. I still talk to this person today who appears to be a dude. And it was at Mayday Brewing. I forgot what town that's in. We were doing a live show or appearance or something like that. And this person comes up to me named Jeremy. And I'll never forget it, because Jeremy is a dude but wants to be a chick. And he has a wife and kids, and they all know this. The wife is very encouraging him to do it, and the kids, everybody's like way open-minded. And they're like, you gotta do this, you should change your gender and we'll still accept you. It's unbelievable. But he's frightened to do that at this stage. The guy's in his 40s, maybe even 50s now. Guy or girl. But he feels like a chick, has always felt like a chick, but is a dude, handsome dude. And wishing it was a she, wishing he was a she, I shouldn't say it. That's terrible. Has the emotions and mindset of a lady. And I didn't know that. And comes walking up to me, and I meet Jeremy. And Jeremy is a big fan and also extremely emotional. And within a second, he's crying like Madison is in that clip, going, oh my God, I've loved you for so long. And he's got the feminine qualities that are manifesting outwardly, but looks like a dude. Oh my God, Eric, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So I'm like all fucked up. And then we have a conversation via Messenger, and Jeremy says, I'm going to be a woman. One day I'll be a woman. I go, what? And it says, yeah, I'm transgender. And I'm like, well, at that point, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know that. I didn't know the definition of it. I didn't know what you have to do to change your gender. I didn't have any idea whatsoever. But I just kept my mouth shut and continued being friendly. And then, lo and behold, years later, I started asking him more questions and got a little bit more of a handle on it as I got like up nerve to ask questions, And then I even said, hey, can I ask you a bunch of questions? This is before Ash comes into the family. Yeah, sure. So then I started asking those questions. Lo and behold, Madison starts dating Ash. So I was like, okay, now I've got some, I got like a baseline. I know what's up. Kent says, I had this conversation when my brother called me to tell me his middle child was transgender. Yeah, I think my advice to anyone who has a transgender child or you have a relative that is transgender, love them, encourage them, make them feel comfortable, because most of the world is going to reject them and try to hurt them. And they instantly, with that announcement, become the most despised group of people on God's green earth. And they're going to get a lot of shit thrown at them. So I suggest in order to cultivate the best possible scenario, the ones closest to them, do not betray that. And love them, love them, love them. That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. Does Maddie call herself pansexual, bisexual, or straight? Pansexual. She is attracted to love. So it doesn't matter where it comes from. It's a very involved love. It's she's not motivated on the levels that of a more like, you know, how you're initially attracted to someone because of physicality, how they look, you know. It's much more complicated with her. Paul says, did Madison know she was wanting to transition before beginning a relationship? I'm not sure what you mean by transition. Because are you applying that to like transgender? Because Madison is not. Or did you mean to write Ash? Paul also writes, I'm curious how the conversation starts when telling your spouse you want to transition. Some heavy stuff. Yeah, that's a great question. One that I will ask Ash, who has done that. By the way, Ash's background when Ash was growing up, because I asked that question, I go, so what was it like for you growing up? She goes, oh, God, I was always into boy shit. Back then, it was called a tomboy. That was me. You remember, did you go to school with anybody that said, hey, yeah, she's a tomboy? And all we did was went, oh, yeah, she's just, she likes getting dirty and playing baseball and tinkering with cars. We didn't know that was, at least I didn't. But that's what Ash was. She's like, I was just into I was attracted to boy things. Just did not feel comfortable with my body, and it was awful. And I just wanted to be a boy, look like a boy, act like a boy, do boy things from very early age. It's really remarkable. Jeremy writes, if anyone wants to know what growing up as a trans person is, check out Transgender Dysphoria Blues by the band Against Me. It taught me a lot about the struggles of trans people. Paul clarifies, says, sorry, I meant, did Madison know Ash was thinking of transitioning before they were dating? I don't know. I know that Ash looked quite dudeish when they first met and was referred to as they, them. You know, that identity struggle. And then over time, it became he, him. Kyle, one of our resident gay audience members, writes, I was also into boy things and boys when I was growing up. That's right, as you should have been. And I wonder how it is. I guess that's a question for Kyle. Maybe he can elaborate about this. When you're a gay boy growing up, like if you're a heterosexual boy growing up, you've got like the entire student body of females, as far as you know. But when you're a gay boy, all of that student body, you're like, all right, I'm not interested in them. Now I'm looking at just a segmented amount of young people in the school-age population. What leads you to figure out who also is gay? Is it gaydar, which is a very real thing, I believe? Shared glance, maybe a little eye contact, and then that leads you to maybe a conversation. How did that happen? Or did you have to, as you were learning, hit on people who were not gay, and then they wanted to beat your ass? Did you walk up to a guy and say, hey, how about a dick sucking? How did it go for you? That's something I would like to know. Can you please elaborate on that? I would also like to know how we got onto this topic. Oh, I was talking about Ash in the car. Anyway, tow company shows up. I love these guys. Grand Valley Towing. They're the fucking best. I go, how you doing, man? This is great. I go, can you take this to Irvine's Auto Repair? No problem. Loads it up. Away it goes. Text Megan. Incoming. And now I await to get the confirmation that the alternator is burnt out. And they're going to put a new one in for me, and that'll be the end of it. Kyle says nothing in high school when it comes to the boy thing. But it was different in college, more open-minded and easier to express yourself. I got you. And now you've met the man of your dreams. I believe you're married, aren't you? You're actually married. I know you, if not, you should be. And I know Rainbow Flag Jeremy and Rico are one of my gay power couple audience members. I know of at least two. Kyle Ryan, 18 years to the same dude, and Jeremy and Rico. Team man on man. People say to me, Easy, why do you talk about this shit? Well, because it's interesting, dumb fuck. Why do you think? All right. Okay, so to start the show, we talked about gender, sex, transsexuals, transgender folk, gay people. I don't think transsexual is a term anymore, right? And car trouble. Today is a day where I may have to install the mess relocation protocol. I have visiting the household today Q100 staff engineer JJ. He's driving down from Grayling to here to install a new piece of audio equipment for the radio show. Thank you, Kenny. He sent me a warning that I have a staff meeting for Q100 in 10 minutes. And then we will resume the podcast. Probably at about 11:20, 11:30. After I break for the 11 o'clock meeting. So JJ comes all the way down here to install. I'll show it to you, actually. Hang on. Okay. For the past 5 years, 8 months, I have been using a $250 Behringer podcast audio console. Console. Perfect for podcasting. It's way out of date now, but it works fine. Well, this goddamn thing is also powering the radio station, the 60,000 watt radio station in northern Michigan. So when I'm doing the Insane Asylum morning radio show in Q100 for 4 hours, Monday through Friday, I'm using this $300 Behringer board, this console, and it's completely not appropriate. But when I started the show, I said, all right, I'm going to use that, but I'm going to order a new broadcast console. It's a $2,000 piece of equipment. I purchased it, and it's so new that it wasn't made. It's called the Rave by a company called Angry Audio in Nashville, Tennessee. I said, I want one of those consoles. All sorts of great capabilities with it. It's a new thing. And but I don't know how to install it. So JJ has to install the damn thing. I order it. I pay them my money. And then they reach out and said, we had a recall. Everybody's sending theirs back. I go, I haven't gotten mine. They go, good. We have to rebuild everything. So they rebuilt the fucking thing, fixed the bugs, and then they sent it out. So I bought that in March, late February, early March. And here it is, August. And I have it here, but now watch. If I drop it here, it's going to be terribly embarrassing and ridiculous. This is not going to be impressive to you, but it's impressive to me. This is my new console. So microphones, you can put the phone. I won't have to put the phone up to a microphone anymore. Eventually. You got to hook a bunch of shit up and do like the back of this thing here. It's excellent. And I'm excited about it. So JJ's coming here to help me install that fucking thing. Bob says, will this new equipment make the app have the correct band/song display? No. That's not. If it's originating here, it won't do that. You're going to have to use your, what's that app? Is it called Zillow? What's the app? Zenith? That you can hold up to the music and it'll tell you what's playing. Shazam. Zillow? God damn. Mason Blue says, do you get to keep it if you get fired? That one, yeah. I actually purchased that myself. Kenny says, Google will now identify the song for you. Zillow's something else, isn't it? It's like a pillow. If you look up Zillow, what are you looking up? I don't remember. Real estate. Oh, my God. Asshole. I'm such a dick. Okay, so mess relocation is literally the path that JJ will be walking through the house. Everything that's out of place, which is usually everything, you pick it up and you throw it in a room where he won't be. You just throw it in there. That is mess relocation. I'll be with him on the staff meeting in 5 minutes. And then as soon as the staff meeting ends, he jumps in his car. I told him, dude, I'm going to bust my ass. I'll be done podcasting by 1:30. And then that's the end of it. So it's a busy day. By the way, I'll be working at Bosco's Pub today. Remember I told you the car is being worked on? I have to ride a bike to Bosco's. So if you see me riding down the road today, I'll have a red helmet on. Try not to hit me. My God. All right. Thank you as always. Excuse me. To the sponsors that help make this show go. And I have a brand new sponsor that I'd like to introduce to you. This is something that I thought about recently. When it comes to when I die, if you don't have a will or a trust, you're going to put a lot of people in a bad spot who are your heirs to your estate. So I got in touch with a guy by the name of Zach, and his business he's an attorney, estate-wise. The website is estate-wise.com. Estate planning, wills, and trusts. Now, if I have a will made out that just says, hey, I give this kid this, I give this kid that, I give this kid that, that's one thing. However, if you do not have a trust, then that means that all of your shit is going to go into probate before the will can be brought into play. And probate is a bitch. If someone passes away and their estate goes into probate, you're looking at a real pain in the ass to navigate that. However, if before you take your dirt nap, you have all of that set up with my pal Zach over here at EstateWise, none of that happens. Your loved ones execute your trust through your wishes through your trust and your will, and that is taken care of with no problems whatsoever. So, what I'd like you to do is reach out to Zach at EstateWise, either through his website, estate-wise.com. You can also email zach.estate@gmail.com, or you can even call Zach at 616-540-7544, 616-540-7544. I know if you're like me, you've been like, boy, I'm not going to die right away, God willing, fingers crossed. But when I do, I need to have this done. I need to have this taken care of. So what you do is you reach out to Zach. EZ sent me. I want all of that stuff taken care of in writing. Also, things like power of attorney in case you become incapacitated medically, who's going to care for you. These are all very, very important things that most people don't think of unless, of course, I talk about it and remind you. So do me a favor. Reach out to Zach. Just say hello. Even if you could just reach out, just say hello. EZ's talking about you on his show right now. Let him know that you're hearing about him right now and that you'll eventually be reaching out to him to take care of this thing. This is something you have to do. Call or text 616-540-7544. That is EstateWise, estate-wise.com. He's based right here in West Michigan. He can help you out. He did this for Dinah and I with our estates, and I can't wait to talk more about him on the show. Okay, I got to go to the staff meeting. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. Thank you, folks. I'll talk to you then. I'll answer the question, whatever happened to the bike path asshole? I'll come up with that. I'll get an answer for you and come back with that in just a bit. All right, that is Act 1 of the podcast. Act 2 is available right after this one. Go check it out. What are you doing? Don't miss a second of it. Thank you so much.